verification. You can verify the system behavior using assertion also. Okay, specify the behavior of the system. That means we need to write the sequence or Boolean expressions based on the expected behavior of the system. Then that behavior is happening or not, that we are checking by the keyword assert. It is primarily used to validate the behavior of the design by data integrity check and temporal check. In assertion, you are checking data integrity. That means the expected output is coming or not. The data integrity we are checking, and as well as temporal check. It is coming in the expected time. Along with the values we are checking, it is coming at the proper time or not. That we are checking in the assertion. First, we need to write the expected behavior. Okay. With the help of assert, we are checking that behavior is happening or not. That's the use of assertion. The advantages are improving observability. The observability in the sense, okay, measuring the internal state behavior of the system by examining the output. Then reducing debug time. Bugs can be found early and isolated. So in normal verification, if we are getting the unexpected result, we need to backtrace and we need to find where the bug is. So, but in assertion, we can able to easily find out the location and which time it is not occurred. So it reduces the debugging time. And there are two types of assertion. One is immediate assertion and concurrent assertion. First, we are going to see about immediate assertion. Immediate assertion checks the condition at the current simulation time. It is same as like if-else statement. If assertion is true, okay, the action block what we are going to mention here, that will execute. If it is false, the assertion, the expression what we are mentioning, that is false, means automatically if you mention else part, that will execute. It will check at the current simulation time itself. For example, if you use passage of clock, at passage of clock, it will check whether the given expression is true or not. Then this is one example for immediate assertion. Assert tx.randomize. A transaction we are randomized, right? If you put inside the assert, if it's not randomized, you will get an assertion error. And also you can mention like this: assert expression, action block, $display, pass. If it is happened, it will display pass. Else part. If it is fail, automatic else part will choose, and you will get fail. This display. By default, the severity of the assertion fail is error, as well UVM error. So here instead of this $display, you can also use $fatal, $error, $warning, and $info. So $fatal has the highest severity level. Okay. When $fatal occurs, the simulation stop there itself. Error and warning you will get after the end of the simulation. Then this is one example for immediate assertion. Always at passage of clock, assert A and B. This assertion should be mentioned inside the procedural block. Always at passage of clock, A and B. A is, if I mention simply A, it means that A equal to 1 and B equal to 1. So this is the condition we are checking. At each passage of clock, A should be 1 and B should be 1. If it's not happened, you will get an assertion error. In this waveform, this is the clock, and this is the A signal, and this is B. Each passage of clock, you will check. Here A is 1, and B is 1, assertion is passed. So pass, you won't get anything in the log. If it is fail, you will get the assertion fail, and along with the time, which time, simulation time, you get fail, that info you will get in the transfer log fail. Here at this passage of clock, this is 1 and this is 0. So assertion got failed. Both should be 1. That is the condition we are checking here. So if this behavior not happen, you are getting failed here. A is 0 and B is 1. Here both are getting failed, and here this passage of clock, both are 1. So it is passed. Here this example is for immediate assertion. Model name in model. Within this, I declared A, B, and clock as bit. Here I generate the clock, and this clock within this initial beginning, I forced A and B values. So this is we have just generated the values, okay. And with the help of this assertion, we are checking. To understand the concept, I create a small example. Here we are generating the values of A, B, and clock, and we are checking how the assertion is behaving. Here, always at passage of clock, assert A and B. The same example we discussed. If it is happened, you are getting the pass display, else you will get the failed display. Here, at this passage of clock, A, B values are 1. So this pass. Here at this passage of clock at 15 nanoseconds, A value is 1, B value is 0. So we are getting assertion fail. But first we are getting pass, and then we are getting fail at 15 time minute. Affecting A and then B. We are getting assertion failure. Then again it is pass at the next passage, there 1 1, and this passage it is 0 and 1. The time is 35 nanoseconds. Again it is passed and 35 nanoseconds. Again we are getting failed. Then this pass. Then this passage of clock, both are 1. So they are passed. Next we are going to see about concurrent assertion. So it checks the sequence of the event spread over multiple clock cycles. In immediate assertion, you are checking only at the current clock. Okay. So here concurrent assertion means the sequence of the event is going to happen for the multiple clock cycles. The concurrent assertion is evaluated only at the occurrence of clock tick. So evaluate at the occurrence of clock tick in the sense evaluation will happen at the observed region. While discussing the scheduling semantics, okay, the concurrent assertion sampling will take place in the preponed region, okay, and the sampled data will be evaluated in the observed region. Okay, that you should clear. So concurrent assertion sample. Assume that this is the clock tick, the clock edge is happening at the preponed region. That means just before this happening, prepone happens just before this happening. Okay, so it will sample these values just before the clock edge happens. So So what is the value? Just before the clock edge happens, signal is the input. Okay. So just before the clock edge happens, the value is 0. This value observed, this sampled value is evaluated in the observed region. Okay. For example, here at passage of clock is happening. So here the sample value will be 1. Okay. Just before the passage happens, the value is 1. This you should clear before doing the concurrent assertion. The test expression is evaluated at the clock edge based on the sample value. Okay. Observed region based on the sample value, it will do the evaluation. It can be placed in the procedural block, module, or interface, or a program block. Inside that, we can write this concurrent assertion. While writing this concurrent assertion, we need to follow this hierarchy. The basic thing is Boolean expression. First, we need to create the Boolean expression. For example, $12 RUQ #1 rest equal to 1. This is one example for writing the Boolean expression. So this is nothing but $12 is a system task. It's usually to recognize the signal change happens from 1 to 0. $12 means 1 to 0. Okay, it will recognize RUQ signal that varies from 1 to 0. Then #1, it indicates one clock cycle. When this negate happens, after one clock cycle, response should be 1. That behavior we need to check. For that, we are writing a Boolean expression. Then I put this inside the sequence. This is the first one, lowest hierarchy. And using this, we can create the sequences. Sequence keyword, sequence name, you can give any name here. I'm checking REQ rest, so REQ rest sequence and end sequence. Within that, we need to put the Boolean expression. So the use of creating the sequences for reusing purpose. Okay. Reusability in this, wherever we need, instead of writing this line, we can use this sequence. Then next hierarchy is property. With the help of sequence, we need to create the property and end property. This general syntax. You can give any name for this property. Here inside the property, you need to check with the passage of clock or negate of clock, what are the signals. So at passage of clock or reset, this is called implication operator. Okay. As we are mentioning the timing here. Timing inside the timing window, we are mentioning the timing and this sequence. So here this implication operator will have antecedent and consequent. The antecedent is happened, this consequent will occur. Okay. If it is not happened, it will not no need to check for the consequent. Only the antecedent happens when reset become 1. Okay. So this sequence we need to check. This is all implication operator. There are two types of implication. One is overlapping and non-overlapping. Here it is a overlapping implication operator. Non-overlapping, how to mention what is the difference, that we will see in next slide. Then using this property, we need to write the assertion. Okay, with the help of assert property. We need to, within the bracket, we need to mention this property name. The label is optional. If you want, you can give the label for this assertion. So this is called implication. This is a overlapping implication. So overlapping in the sense, it will check from the passage of clock happens for this reset. I will explain with the example so that you can understand clearly. In this example, this model, I declare clock A, B, and I generate the clock, and I gave the positive values for A and B with some delays. Here, first we need to write the Boolean expression. Okay, so directly you can write the Boolean expression inside the sequence. So the Boolean expression is A hash to B. That means A should be 1. Then after two clock cycle, B should be 1. So that we put inside the sequence. Then inside this property, at passage of clock, at each passage of clock, I am going to check this sequence. Then A1 is the assertion label, assert property. In that you need to mention the property name. Now, if I explain the waveform, you will get confused. So first I will note down the values, and then I will explain. Okay, this is the waveform we are getting clock and the A and B values based on the post value. First we will note down the sampled value during each passage of clock. So I already told this happened in the preponed region. The values are sampled, concurrent, assertion values are sampled at the preponed region. That means just before the passage happens. Here I mentioned as passage of clock. So just before that, we need to note down the value of A and B. For example, first passage of clock. Okay, here what is the value of A? Just before the passage, value is 0, right? And B value is 0. Note down those things here. Clock. Okay. So this is the first passage, first clock. During the passage, the value of A, just before the passage, value of A is 0 and B is 0. It is happened at 5 nanoseconds. In the next passage of clock, A value is 1 and B value is 0. Just before passage, B value is 0. So A value is 1 and B value is 0. Happens at 15 nanoseconds. Then here, next passage, A value is 1, B value is 1 at 25. And this 35, A value is 1 and B value is 0. A value is 1 and B value is 0 at 35. And 45, A value is 1, B value is 1. Right? So here, this is the value we are obtaining based on the post values. Now we need to check. Here we have same example I put here. We need to check this sequence. So this assert property will check at each passage of clock. Now what is this? A should be 1. After 2 cycles, B should be 1. So it is checking. First one, it is checking. A should be 1, but here A equal to 1. Instead of that, we can write as A. We are expecting A should be 1, but here A value is 0. So you are getting fail. See in the log file. Here starts 5 times as 5 and failed at 5 nanoseconds. Okay. Of continuing. You get assertion failed at 5 time units due to A value is 0. Then next passage of clock, A is 1. Then after 2 cycles, B should be 1. So this is the first cycle. After that, first one and second one. We are expecting to be 1, but it is 0, right? So here also assertion got failed. Okay. starts at 15 and failed at 35. 35 nanoseconds got failed. Ascending B. Then next passage of clock is 1, and after 2 this is first one and this is second one. So it is passed through. So this is the way it will sample and it will check for the assertion. The next example. The next going to see the difference between overlapping and non-overlapping implication. So overlapping in the sense we need to check from the current passage of clock. Non-overlapping in the sense we need to check after, that means next passage of clock. Then timing window, this also we discussed, right? So if we mention like this, the meaning is at passage of clock when A is 1, at that it is similar to ##1 or ##2 or ##3 or ##4. Either the B value should be 1 in 1 clock cycle, or after 2 clock cycle, or after 3 clock cycle, or after 4 clock cycle. Okay. If any one of that clock cycle, if B value becomes 1 means this property will get passed. Here. Here in this example, I am going to explain the difference between overlapping and non-overlapping implication and the use of how the timing window assertion will behave. So this here a similar way we created the clock and we are posting the values for A and B. Here we are writing the property. Okay, here I directly write the property without writing the sequence. That also we can do. If you write as a sequence, we can access wherever we need. Here I am just using only one property. So I write that sequence, the Boolean expression directly inside the property. So here, first we will check this one. Property P at passage of clock A equal to 1, non-overlapping. So it is it is a overlapping. It is not overlapping. It is a overlapping implication. B equal to 1. So that means A and B should be 1 at passage of clock. Okay, overlapping in the sense A and B are using the same passage of clock. Okay. If I use non-overlapping, it will check at the next passage of clock. That is the difference. Why we are telling this as overlapping means, if I mention this overlapping implication, this passage of clock is overlap for A and as well as B. A should be 1 and B should be 1 at the passage of clock. That is the meaning. Then here I assert that property using assert property name. First we will note down the A and B values at first passage of clock. For this example, I already note down here. Okay. First passage of clock, A and B values are 1. A and B values are 1 at 5 nanoseconds. Next passage of clock, A value is 1, B value is 1. we should sample at the frequency just before the passage at 50. Then next at 25, A value is 0, B value also 0. Then 35, A is 1, B is 0, and 45, A is 0 and B also 0. Now we will check the property. So this is the property we need to check, right? So what I do, A and B should be 1 at passage of clock. So A and B, these are overlapping implication. A should be 1, the same passage of clock, B should be 1. So here both are 1, session passed. Here also it got passed. Here, see, it is called antecedent and this is consequent. Okay. When the antecedent is true, we need to check for the consequent. Here A value is 0, but A equal to 1, we are checking. So when A is not 1, we don't need to check for the consequent. Okay, so this we can leave. This, see the difference between the previous one and this one. Here I didn't use implication. Here it is just a Boolean expression. So we need to check for all the possibility. A should be 1. Okay, otherwise you will get assertion failure. Here I use implication and I am expecting that A should be 1. When this antecedent is true, then this should be happen. When it is not true, I don't need to check further. Okay. So here it is not 1, so the assertion we are not going to check. Here it is 1, so it is checked for the consequent. B should be 1, but we are getting B as 0, so we are getting assertion failed. At the 35th nanoseconds, see here, 35th, we are getting assertion failed happening B. Then here it is 0, so no need to check for this assertion. Then here both are 1, so assertion got passed. Now I am using non-overlapping implication. A non-overlapping in the sense it will happen at the next passage. The passage is not used for this B. Okay. After the next passage, B should be 1. So that's why we are calling this as non-overlapping implication. First we will note down the values, sample values. So at this passage of clock, A value is 1, B value is 1. At 15, A value is 1, B value is 1. At 25, A value is 0, B value is 0. At 35, this is next passage. 35 is A value is 1 and B value is 0. At 45, both are 0. Okay, these are the values, sample values. Based on that, in the observed region, it will evaluate. The assertion we need to check is A, non-overlapping implication, B should be 1. So A is 1 pair. Okay. It will check for the consequent. So when it should happen, it will be the next cycle. This is non-overlapping. So in the next cycle, it should be 1. So here it is, we are getting 1. And for the next passage of clock, A is 1. For that, we are expecting B should be 1. But here B is 0. So we are getting assertion failed. It start 15 and at 25th nanosecond. 25th nanosecond, we are getting assertion failed. Affirmative B. Then next, A equal to 0, we don't need to check. Thus, antecedent, we are expecting that A should be 1. But here it is 0, we don't need to check for this assertion. Then A is 1, next cycle, B, F to be 1, but we are receiving 0. So that time also we are getting assertion failed at 45. Start 35 and fail at 45 due to offending B. The next one we are going to run with timing window. Here what is the expected behavior? A should be 1. When A is 1, B value should be 1 after 1 clock cycle, okay, or after 2 clock cycle. Within 1 clock cycle or 2 clock cycle, B value should be 1. First we will sample this value. Here in this passage, A is 1, B is 1. So this sample value will be same. I am going to post the same value. So at each passage of clock, the value will be same. I didn't change any input values. So we just check for this property. A should be 1. Here I use overlapping. So from that passage I need to check. Here I am mentioning the delay, not actually we are expecting after as 1 means after 1 clock cycle. As 2 means after 2 clock cycle. So from this 1 clock cycle, that means this one, or 2 clock cycle, this one. In these two, either one of this cycle, B value should be 1. So we are getting the #1 cycle. The next clock cycle, we are getting 1 at 15 nanoseconds. Then next passage of clock is checking. #1 cycle, B value is 0. #2 cycle, B value is 0. So we are getting both the cycles, B value is 0. We are getting assertion failed, starts at 15 and getting at 35 nanoseconds. Then here A value is 0, so no need to check. And A is 1, just checking next cycle and #2 cycle. Here it is 1. So this get passed. So this is the way the concurrent assertion will get sampled and then it will do the evaluation. Next, we are going to see the operators. So this we will discuss that.